What is animal farming? Well, according to the dictionary, it's the practice of breeding animals for the production of animal products and for recreational purposes. That can't be so hard, you might say. It's just raising animals, right? Well, you see, it's a lot more complicated than that. Animal farming first started out with nomadic herders wandering the plains as their animals fed on grass. But tremendous human population growth and the scientific revolution brought about changes and advancements to this process, making it more mechanized and quantity-based. Now it just takes 1/4 of the time to raise a broiler chicken to market weight compared to a regular chicken, due to a mix of selective breeding and gene splicing techniques. So what we're really trying to say is animal farming really involves a lot of research and really precise practices to ensure efficient processes and the sustainable growth that we need in today's world. And what's more amazing is that our very own state of North Carolina is a leader in sustainable practices and innovations regarding animal agriculture and its subcategories. And part of this is because North Carolina is the second largest producer of hogs, pigs, trout, and turkeys, and the fifth largest producer of broiler chickens in the entire nation. So it makes sense when we see large organizations such as the NC Farm Bureau and the NC State Animal Science Research Center making groundbreaking innovations in this field. Many of these innovations have been directed towards hog farming, considering that it brings NC $11 billion each year and is its leading industry. Some of these help to reduce environmental harm that results from hog farming. For example, in the Lenoir and Greene counties of North Carolina, progressive waste management procedures have been implemented to recycle pig waste into useful fertilizer and prevent them from polluting the environment. Interesting methods include straw beds for the hogs, which can provide them with warmth in the winter, and also soak up their waste, which can be used as fertilizer, rather than disposing it in a lagoon system. On the other hand, there's also been much research to help pigs and hogs survive and develop better immune systems, which keeps them from developing these diseases and also keeps humans safe. We wouldn't want another swine flu epidemic now, would we? Researchers in NC State have examined developmental nutrition as an avenue to improving the immune health of newborn piglets, and they've been using biotechnology to increase piglet cholesterol IgG levels, which basically allows for improved pre-weaning survivability for pigs, and it also provides continued health protection to them as they grow. Another researcher, Dr. Billy Flowers from NC State, actually pioneered the use of ultrasound machines to make swine birds safer, which is now a nationwide practice on hog farms. Now, we don't only do pig research, there's also been a lot of research in the nutrient intake for cows and horses. Professors such as Paul Siciliano have pursued grazing methods which prevent animals from eating more than they need, which can lead to negative health consequences and inefficient production. Perhaps one of the most interesting animal research fields being studied at NC State is animal well-being. In combination with genetics and physiology fields, animal well-being looks at the effect of breeding behavior on reproductive efficiency, and also the effect of housing conditions on stress-related hormones in captive primates. Something that relates to you could be that this research has been used to study bees and why they've been dying out in the past few years. With all of this technology and innovation, we're able to feed people on a global scale, while still keeping prices relatively affordable. People 100 years ago would have never thought this to be possible. And while these methods of agriculture are sustainable, there are still much controversial topics on environmental effects and the humane aspects of animal farming. People have argued that smaller farms are going out of business because they can no longer compete with corporate farms. Not only that, sustainable methods are manageable in developed countries, but it's hard to influence less industrialized nations to change and improve. After all, why would someone care about sustainability when their first priority is feeding their family and keeping them healthy? Also, regulation in third world countries is not as strict in first world countries, making it hard to enforce policies and create laws that help promote sustainable methods.
Currently in NC, there's 11 million people. To provide for these 11 million people, we have to use GMOs on animals such as pigs, cows, and chickens. This causes the price of meat to decrease But this caused people to buy more meat because it became more affordable. In NC alone, the amount of people spent on meat has rose by 25%. More meat, such as beef, was being eaten, which means we need to use more water to produce it. This also increased the amount of methane that was being produced. To fix this problem, we should eat more meat, such as chicken and turkey, which NC produces the second most in the nation. They also require less water. We can also produce chicken faster than beef because they mature quicker.
Overall, animal farming has developed greatly over the past centuries, with it taking strides in innovation, efficiency, and sustainability. North Carolina helps to lead this charge with its high focus on animal science and research. However, there are still drawbacks to animal farming, and their effect on underdeveloped countries are still higher than we will like. Towards the future, we can expect more innovation and a higher part from consumers in relation to animal sustainability. Thank you, and I hope you learned something from this presentation.